Hello everyone. Recently, India voted against UNSC draft resolution on linking climate change with security and terrorism issue. India's ambassador to UN, T.S. Tirumurti said, climate change may have increased conflicts in Sahel region of Africa and India remain committed to peace and development, but viewing conflict through the prism of climate change is misleading and an oversimplification that could worsen conflict rather than resolving them. So, in this light, let us understand right from the term what is climate change to the present development in the world to tackle this. The term climate change is simply a change in climate, a change in climatic condition like temperature, rainfall, humidity. But the two terms, climate and weather, differs from each other. A weather is an environmental condition over a short period, while climate is the prevalence of that environmental condition over a long period of time. So the difference between the two is with respect to the time period. For example, India has tropical climate, but it can have rainy weather or stormy weather. So these changes in climate had occurred in the past as well. In fact, it's a totally natural phenomena. It means climate change is not something new which we are facing, but we have faced it in the past as well. But why it's an issue today is the speed, its faster speed with which it is taking place, plus the acceleration of this change is primarily driven by human. So it is the anthropogenic climate change. Anthro means human. The polluting heavy industries and vehicles, increasing population pressure on land, water, and soil are generating greenhouse gases much more than what could be absorbed through atmosphere. This result in warming of Earth. Now, one such term is global warming, which is frequently mentioned in climate change. So, first, let us understand it. It is simply the imbalance in Earth's heat budget. It is also the additional rise in Earth's equilibrium temperature. Now, the equilibrium needs to be such that when solar radiation warms up the Earth's surface, the reflected back radiation must cool it to balance out. But when some absorbing particles like carbon dioxide CO2, methane CH4, or other GHGs, greenhouse gases, are present in the atmosphere, this reflected radiation gets absorbed and trap the heat. This disturbs the balance. Now we will come to the IPCC, very important report. What is this IPCC? The full form is Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change. This IPCC report is generated every year. It is the major step in the measurement of climate change. The latest one is the sixth assessment report, titled Climate Change 2021, the Physical Science Basis. It says that global net zero by 2050 is minimum required to keep the temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now, this 1.5 degrees Celsius term, or when we see 2 degrees Celsius term, is nothing but that increase in temperature which we have seen in global warming concept. Now, scientists says that it can even go to 2 degrees Celsius, which will have dangerous consequences. Some of the consequences and its impact we could see as the cyclone frequency would increase, which would affect the poor and vulnerables in coastal areas more. The summer or winters could be extreme. Rich can afford AC or room heater, but it is the poor who will be at the receiving end of the climate change. Change in rainfall pattern can make drought areas more dry and wet areas experiencing more floods. Developing countries are more vulnerable to it, hence need financing and greater financial support from developed worlds. All these phenomena, as claimed by IPCC, has increased over the years. It further says that the level of temperature rise in the mountain and glacial melt is unprecedented in 2000 years. It means it has risen so much. Sea level rise has tripled compared with 1901 to 1971. This will affect coastal areas more. Every additional 0.5 degrees Celsius rise of warming will increase hot extremes, precipitation, and drought. So we see our target is 1.5 to 2 degrees Celsius, but even 0.5 degrees Celsius could lead to disaster of climate change. Now coming to the term net zero. This net zero emission means all man-made GHG, that is greenhouse gas emissions, must be removed from the atmosphere through reduction measures, thus reducing the Earth's net climate balance after removal via natural and artificial sink to zero. The main term zero here means what we are generating as a carbon into the atmosphere must be trapped back. So the net result is zero. This removal can be done in natural way, for example, planting trees, afforestation, or in an artificial way. The more technical term to this artificial way is CCUS. The full form is carbon capture, utilization, and sequestration. It is a process that captures carbon dioxide emissions from sources like coal-fired power plants, industries, and either reuse or store it so that it cannot enter into the atmosphere back. These technologies are very high level and costly in nature. So developed countries like USA, UK, European Union could afford it. Developing ones need financing for it. Now we come to the present status. So, several countries have announced that intentions to achieve net zero emissions is very much in need. USA said that it will do so by 2050. China and Saudi Arabia has announced the same by 2060. Now, India earlier denied to commit anything for net zero because it didn't believe in net zero concept. It says that we should focus on carbon dioxide emission reduction, but later committed to net zero by 2070 in very recent conference organized by United Nations, where Modi ji committed it. Now, two views are present. One is very obvious that we need such targets to reduce warming in the temperature. The other, however, is very intriguing. One of the Oxfam report says announcing net zero is the major distraction from cutting CO2 emission, as net zero means CO2 emitted can be tapped back. So developed nation would focus what? They have research and technology to trap and sequester, so they would leverage it and will not care about closing high polluting industries and fuel usage like coal, oil, etc. Now, India's effort in tackling climate change, we will see here. India's effort has been appreciating. It has submitted many of its target committed to UNFCCC under INDC, that is intended nationally determined contribution. First we see UNFCCC is a framework adopted by UN in 1992 to tackle climate change. It has developed National Action Plan on Climate Change, that is NAPCC, and within it state action plans under this. But some concerns remain, like India still being third largest emitter after USA and China, and also the phasing down of the coal usage is slow in India, as it is still a industry hungry nation and needs manufacturing base. Also, its INDC and several other countries' INDC are not enough to limit the temperature rise to even 2 degrees Celsius. Leave the dream of 1.5 degrees Celsius. Now coming to the way forward. First, climate change is described by man as far greater threat to humanity than COVID-19 because of its irreversible impacts. Many of such are sea level rise, melting of glaciers we see, which will continue for many years. What we need is the drastic and immediate cut in carbon emissions, given that the changes to climate already made are not reversible. All nations need to join net zero emission target, but for that, developed world must help the poor nation with appropriate financing, which they usually avoid to do. It was mentioned in 2015 Paris Climate Deal that the developed ones would pool $100 billion funds for the same, but the funds have not been materialized yet. There is also a need to imbibe climate appropriate behavior in our culture and in our daily individual actions. Otherwise, who knows that these behavior will come to us as the mandatory following COVID-19 appropriate behaviors or the lockdown guidelines. It is said that we must always conclude on a positive note, but I am very pessimistic here. The given data and analysis in hand, it is hard to become positive for the future of climate change reversals and its impact on humankind. It is too big a challenge, so globally, nationally, and individually, we should come together to tackle it, either by reversing the change or by adapting to its consequences. Thank you.